women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one that you had envisioned for yourself, but time marches on. You're going to have to figure it out because you're going to have the illness whether you figure it out or not. And trust me, it sucks to get a few years down the road and you haven't made any changes. So, guess what happens? Everything just gets worse. But that being said, I got to tell you guys, when I am in an extended flare like I'm in right now, man, my inner critic rages. It's kind of crazy. Um, I don't know. I'm sure it has something to do with I'm too exhausted. I don't have the reserves to really be smart about how to handle this, but it can get pretty wild. And I know I'm not the only chronic pain patient who deals with this. This information, by the way, is from Forbes.com. We have the ubiquitous they, as I like to say, but they say we have 50 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. For a lot of us, we have such a negative bias about ourselves. We literally immerse ourselves in negativity all day long. Our thoughts are, you can't give in to that. Your thoughts are so often biased and wildly exaggerated. And when you are to the point where that's just it's an unconscious response that you just sit there and start beating yourself up, think about how sad that is. How can you really be very successful in anything in your life if you're the one who's constantly bringing you down? I'm so sorry. I should have pulled my hair back, but I went to the hairdresser this morning and it looked so pretty, but it's already driving me crazy. Anyway, you need to be aware of your thoughts because we do have 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and we do tend to be very exaggerated in our beliefs of ourselves, which, by the way, you should also consider, where do these beliefs come from? Is it really what you think about yourself, or did some jackass hand you a label a while back and you just picked it up and went with it? I've done that. I've done that before. It's not fun. Don't do that to yourself. You need to remember, just because you think something doesn't mean it's the truth. It's simply a thought. Can you can either buy into it and fixate on it, or you can kind of observe it and go, well, that was weird as hell, and just let it go. But you have to be aware of your thoughts. Number two, I'm really bad about this. Stop ruminating. Replaying your mistakes over and over and over again, it serves no purpose. It's not going to fix anything. All it's going to do is put you into a really unpleasant place emotionally. It's not, you can't change it. Just let it go. If you need to make amends with somebody, then by all means make amends. But other than that, let it go. You're not doing yourself any favors dragging this crap around with you everywhere. Number three, what would you tell a friend? If your best friend were to sit down with you and be like, look, I am such a screw up and I do this wrong and I do that wrong and everybody hates me and I'm this horrible person, what are you going to say to him? You're probably not going to go, oh my God, dude, you're right. You suck. Why wouldn't you offer yourself the same grace? Another perspective on this, years ago, gosh, back in, I think it was, oh my God, it was in 2000. Wow. Anyway, I was at a conference, and so last day, everything, the sessions had ended. People were kind of split into little groups chatting, and people were starting to head out. And I was standing there talking to my friend Lisa, and we were being really hard on ourselves. And this adorable little old lady, and by little old lady, I mean, I'm 5'4", and she looked up at me. She was tiny, very sweet. Jean, I miss you, honey. She passed away a few years ago. Anyway, she stood there for a second and she's listening to Lisa and I, and she finally said, would either one of you walk up to a total stranger and say that? And of course we were appalled. Oh my gosh, no. Who would do that? She said, then why do you do it to yourselves? I always thought that was a really interesting way to look at it. Anyway, what would you tell your friend? And conversely, would you say these things? Would you walk up to a total stranger and just tell them how much you hate them? Probably not. If you would, you got some issues. Number four, show me the proof. So I have a girlfriend who I love dearly, and she gets really caught up in this negative mindset. And I got her really mad at me one time because I was like, okay, fine. Show me the proof. She said, what? I said, get out a piece of paper, put a line down the middle, and write down all the reasons why you suck and all the reasons why you don't suck. She never did it. She never did it, but it's important. Why? Because it's going to help you sort through your thoughts. It's going to help you clarify. It's going to make you understand that a lot of what you're telling yourself is just a load of crap. You don't need to do this to yourself. It's going to, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I was. I had something, I had a really important point I wanted to make on this one, and I can't read my own notes. That's really sad. My hands were swollen this morning, but when you write it out, it's going to help you get a better grip on your emotions, and it's going to give you that step back that you need to be able to respond to whatever has got you upset. Look, whatever you're beating yourself up about, that's probably not what you're really upset about. You're probably upset about something else, and you're just turning that inward. But write it out. Take that step back so you can get a better, more balanced perspective, a more realistic perspective. Side note, no one's ever going to be as harsh of a critic as you are. Lighten up a little. Number 5, reframe. I can't ever do anything right. Come on, that's such a load of crap, and you know it. Instead of falling into that trap, well, you know what? I am not very good at this, but I'm really damn good at that. We have a negative bias, and we tend to focus on the things that we don't like about ourselves, but that's silly. Focus on your positive attributes, because that's going to give you a far more realistic picture of yourself than when you focus on your negative attributes. And when you catch yourself, this is really funny. I stole this from a former guru. Well, she's still a guru. She's just not my guru, because we went different directions, and that's fine. It's not a judgment. It's just we grew apart. Anyway, when I start really going down that trail and I catch myself, because I can spin myself up so fast, and I just firmly tell myself that's not true, because it's not true. And logically, that's not true. So quit giving in to that exaggerated crap that we tend to run with. Finally, number 6, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? We allow our inner critic to stop us from taking action. Why? I mean, really, why? Because your might get bruised if you don't do a perfect job. So your ego's going to find a reason to be bruised. You may as well do something to move yourself forward. If nobody's going to die, quit worrying about the outcome and just do it. Just do it. Okay, maybe you try something and you fail spectacularly. Well, guess what? It's feedback. It's valuable information for you to have, because now you know that doesn't work for you. That's not a problem. It's a blessing. Okay. Plan A didn't work. Good thing I've got more letters in the alphabet. You just keep going. Anyway, super short today because I was super late because I was getting my hair done, but I do have other things I need to run do. I hope you guys have a fantastic afternoon, and I will be back Wednesday.